Good evening. Welcome to my laboratory. What you're looking at there is the exact same program code and circuit that I showed before as the potentiometer voltmeter Arduino circuit. The only difference is that I've added a piezo speaker element glued to a peanut can as a resonator, and that's from ground to, what did I do? I put it on pin 17. Put it on pin 17 there. Alright. And I configured that to give us an alarm when the voltage indication reaches the limit marker. And for the sensor, I have a little negative temperature coefficient thermistor there. Okay, so that's a thermistor whose resistance goes down as it increases in temperature. And to make a potentiometer out of it, I measured its resistance when it was cold, and it was about 900 ohms. So I used a 1K, 1000 ohm resistor, and I went from positive 5 volts to the thermistor to the pot pin designated in the software, and then the 1K resistor from the pot pin to ground. So that makes a potentiometer with the thermistor varying the voltage that is seen at the pot pin. Okay, and then I changed the sensitivity settings in the software. This thermistor can be very sensitive, or it can be very, very insensitive, depending on the settings in the software. As it happens, I'm using, out of the 1024 levels of voltage that the Arduino can read from this, I'm only using a range of about 75 of those. And for this demonstration, I've narrowed the limit that far. Okay, so let's see what happens. That's the speaker there. Let's see what happens when I warm up the thermistor just by touching it with my fingers. Okay. My fingers aren't too warm today, I guess. Let me generate a little bit of heat just by friction. I'm cold-blooded. There we go. I think you can hear the alarm and see the flashing. So we'll let it cool off. Back down to room temperature. Now here's an interesting thing. My breath is actually warm enough to actuate the thermistor. So I have a little drinking straw here, and what I'm going to do is, if I can do this without losing the focus, I'm going to breathe on the thermistor through the straw. Did that show up? Okay, now I'm going to breathe in and out. Did that come out? Alright, so here we've shown a very sensitive thermometer controlling voltage or firing an alarm at a preset value, and it also turns out to be something that you could use as an airflow sensor. Let's say you had a little a second resistor that was actually warmed up by power flowing through it, and then you have air flowing one way or the other across that arrangement. Then the thermistor will heat or cool depending on which way the air is flowing. and you get an indication, up or down. Alright, so the program code is basically the same as for the last video. I just made a few changes. I'll go ahead and upload it and give the link in the description section of this video. Thank you for watching. We're hot-blooded now. Good evening.